Hi folks, welcome back. I feel like it's been a while since I've been here, but it's really hasn't been. I've just been recovering from all that eclipse season, full moon in Scorpio energy. It was very intense. So welcome back. I'm here to just do, I ended up having to reschedule some plans with some friends. We were going to go on a walk/hike today, but it's going to be too rainy here, and I don't really like hiking in the rain anymore. I did when I was younger, but now it just sucks. So we're going to reschedule that. And I decided I would use the opportunity to do a layout without any kind of major pressure or intent, just and general collective message, right? Shoot, I just noticed that I once again forgot my glasses. But we'll try. We'll see what we can do here without them. Hopefully I don't have to get up and get them. I wish that I didn't have such a challenge remembering all the little things I need to do to get this in place and start rolling. It seems like there's always at least one thing I forget. Either I forget to turn off the heater, or I forget to take care of my cat beforehand, or I forget to cover my bird because he shrieks the whole time if I don't while I'm doing the layout. I kind of thought about having him on my shoulder, but the thing with my bird is he's not trained to just poop at his little home. He poops wherever, and I don't want him to poop on my tarot table or on my shoulder while I'm reading, so that's why. But maybe next time I'll bring him in for a little bit before I put him back. I don't know. That's the other challenge here, is that this is a small space, and I've always got to kind of set up and break down, and there's a lot of steps to it, and there's, like I said, there's usually one I always forget. And today it was my glasses. So I hope you're all doing well out there and recovering. I gotta make a confession. There's somebody that's been really on my mind a lot, and I thought maybe what I'll do is a reading for them, because they probably know who they are, and I could just do this reading right here that says this is for you and you know who you are. But I don't know if I really want to go that direction in this channel. That seems like a little bit of a personal, like I'm using this to carry out my personal stuff, and that's kind of not really what I'm doing. I'm doing this as a creative project and to be of service in a new way, since I burned out on my old way in the medical system. So, I mean, that's the short version of why I've done this. I've been reading cards since I was a teenager, so it's not a new practice for me. It's just new that I've kind of come out almost as a card reader and started reading for people and making it known that this is a direction I'm taking my life. So I don't think I'm going to do that, even though it was really tempting, because this person, I'm thinking so much about them that I thought, well, why not just do a reading for them and then label it, this reading is for you. But maybe I'll get over it and do that at some point. I just decided against it today because I don't want my channel to become that, like, me sort of, there's like that phrase in social media, vague posting, and I don't want that to be like this, right? So I'm not going to do it. But that person, if they happen to catch this reading, I'm thinking about you heavily, and I hope you're okay. Right, so general layout. Okay, what are we going to do here? I'm going to do a Tetractys layout. I'm obsessed with this deck. I absolutely love it. I wanted a tarot deck based on the natural world, and this is just has beautiful images with it. I'm going to be using them in some pick-a-card layouts because they're visually really amazing for those, I think, especially. Okay, yeah, it's too dim. I need to get my glasses. So I'm sorry, this is a sort of janky little setup here right now, but I'll be right back. I just need to get those. Okay, I'm back. And Ooh, 333. We have a 333 here. That's kind of nice. That's an ascended master number. Powerful energy for someone. So I'm glad I'm doing this. This is a nice, if I had to cancel plans to go out into the woods, I'm glad to be doing this here because I thoroughly enjoy doing this. If anyone knows of any low to the ground seats that would be nice, I need one. I'm using a really uncomfortable setup and I need a low to the ground. Like what I'd like to have is one of those scooters that we used to use them in PE a lot when I was growing up. They're just like a little square with 4 casters on the bottom, and we would play like scooter kickball and anything you could, any organized sport, only with scooters. We would do that and it was really fun. I loved those scooters. That's what I need. I need one of those to sit on. Okay. So this is just the general collective message from a Tetractus layout. And like I said before, we have 3 threes. 1, 2, 3 right here in this corner of the Tetractus. 1, 2, 3, 4 major arcana cards. So this is a big reading for someone. And the major arcana cards are major ones. They're all major, but it's the Hermit, the Devil, and the High Priestess. So very potent energy. This is probably going to reflect some carrying through energy from eclipse season and the retrograde. There was a lot of powerful stuff. So we're in a position here of feeling like we have to stand our ground or protect our position in some way. Resources is what's coming up here, because in this image you see crocodiles, and this crocodile is protecting his food source from the other crocodiles that are attracted. So it's a little bit of maybe a dog eat dog energy right now that you're experiencing, and you're feeling like you need to defend yourself and stand your ground through some kind of a circumstance. That's in the cornerstone here. I'm sorry, excuse me. What is a little bit at odds here for yourself is that you know that you want to collaborate with others. You know you want to start working on something that's not a lone project or lone wolf type goal. Your goal and what you're thinking and feeling is that you're ready to kind of link up with someone, or you're ready to join forces with others to do your work. I mean, to get work done or to execute a creative project of some type. You're really interested in reconnecting with people right now to work collaboratively with them in some way, either just socially, like having fun, or a work project, like maybe you're going to start a business, right? There's all kinds of ways that this could look, but this is relating to the earth element. So you're really trying to figure out a practical way to like come together with others and get some things done. But that's coming up against the desire to be in hermit mode and to follow to the tune of your own drum and to not join up with other people and to feel secure in that it's okay to just be a hermit. This culture is very social, and so loners often are kind of seen as having something wrong with them, right? I'm a big loner, but I'm comfortable socially. Like if I'm at a party, I'm fine. Like I'm not panicked, or but I just find it draining. I'm an introvert, right? So that might be a little bit of the dilemma that you're up against, is that you know it would be good for you to be connecting with others and starting to collaborate, that you don't always want to work alone, but here you're really being, the more powerful urge is to go within and be alone and not collaborate with others and just listen to your own inner guide. And I love how it's a spider making a web, right? I mean, that's a complex endeavor and it requires the spider's focus. And right next to this 3 of Pentacles is the 3 of Cups. So a very loving, you're surrounded by some people right now that really care for you, right? Like a close-knit group of friends or your closest family. You're wanting to collaborate with them, but you're also really up against needing to spend some time alone. And you're kind of feeling like you have to stand your ground about being alone, even when people may not understand it or misunderstand it, or you might even be like offending people or hurting people's feelings by turning down invitations or by canceling plans, or by just continuing to be in solo mode without connecting with others. So you're kind of a little bit at odds with yourself right now about this. The vulnerability that you're in is the High Priestess. So this is something that you're being asked to do on a deeper level, is give yourself this time alone to go within, to develop your third eye, to develop your spiritual practice, to figure out what and who you're going to serve, if anything, and how you're going to do that. This is a vulnerability for you. And this is the kind of thing that will come to you. This understanding and this wisdom and this witchy knowledge will show up for you if you allow it, if you make the room for it, and if you are willing to go within. But there's parts of you that feel like that are competing with that want to please their friends or go to parties or do, there's kind of some conflict there. And it's a vulnerability. This priestess needs your attention and your time and your willingness to go in hermit mode if you want to develop this part of you. She can't do it at parties and light socializing and light conversation and surface level stuff. She needs, if you want to develop this part of you, she needs you to go within and be okay with being a hermit for a while. The very heart of things is the Devil card. So you may be kind of trying to transmute some shadow. And this is the kind of thing that asks that of you. Like, if you're going to do shadow work, you got to be making the time for yourself to do it and creating the space around you to go within and to be a little bit uninterrupted at times to be able to do that. The devil can mean a lot of things. The devil can mean getting in touch with your joy in a way that maybe you were always kind of punished for example. And now you're kind of coming back into a place where you're trusting yourself and your own insight and wisdoms and spiritual knowledge. With this 3 energy, again, like when you emerge from this time of solitude and protecting this High Priestess within you, and maybe it could look something like, I love you guys. I know you don't really know what's going on with me. Just know I'm okay and I'm going through something and I just need a lot of time alone. It could be something as simple as that, to just give yourself, ease up on the pressure you're feeling to live up to everybody else's expectations of you. It's okay to kind of preemptively say, I'm not doing so great. Or it might not even be about not doing well or whatever. It might just be about, I need some time. I want some solitude time to meditate, go within, be alone, heal, transmute some stuff, right? Shadow work. It's okay. And a lot of times all you really need to do is let people know that's what's going on, so they give you the space and time that you need. Otherwise, a lot of times people will get mistaken and think that something's wrong and that they need to try harder to get you to come out, right? And that's maybe what you're kind of struggling with a little bit as well. We'll pull some clarifiers here, but you have a lot of creative ideas. You're ready to kind of get going and get started on these creative ideas. And again, that kind of lit up, action-oriented connection and energetic type stuff is sort of pushing against your desire to be alone and go within and be creative in a solo way. This is a solo creative project. I remember the kind of original goal was to start it with my niece, but my niece is in her early 20s, so her life is in that really exciting time of being in your early 20s, moving, exploring, figuring out what you want to do. She's into this kind of stuff, but she can't necessarily commit to a project like this right now. So I had a choice to make about, do I want to move forward, even though I was originally envisioning this as a team or a partnership kind of project. And I really was committed to that idea for a long time before I finally had to face, if you want to do this, you're just going to have to move forward alone to get going and start learning and start your work. So that's what I had to do, even though I was kept wondering if I should wait for a partner. Finally, I was like, just get comfortable with doing this YouTube by yourself. It's okay. You don't have to do it perfectly. Just get moving. Just get going. Like, you'll hear writing teachers say that sometimes too. Like, to break through your writer's block, just have a disciplined practice where you free write every morning for a little while, or create images, or do sketch work, right? Just to have some discipline. Without any attachment to whether you like it or not, just to have the free flow of the creative energy, right? That's your strength right now, is you have a lot of creative fire and energy and ideas. The devil on your shoulder is the Page of Swords. So he might be whispering to you a little bit about, he might be a little worried, you might be protecting your ideas. That's kind of what's coming through here, is that you have this vision and these beautiful ideas, but you're aware that they have some value, and your sense is that you need to kind of fly below the radar and be a little bit low key about it. You don't want to be going and blasting your ideas everywhere if they're that good, because then people will steal them. As sad as that is, it's just really true. People steal ideas and creative work all the time. And so you might be feeling a little bit pressed to protect your creative work right now. That's coming from your shadow. And part of you might be dismissive of that. Like, oh, come on. People aren't really that messed up, or, there might be a little bit of that. But the thing is that it's wise to protect your work, and because what's happening in the scene world and what you're aware of is that you're still really navigating through a lot of that intense lunar energy that just came through. Things are not what they seem. When there's a time of uncertainty and illusion, it's okay to kind of corner the wagons and protect yourself. That's kind of a colonial Oregon Trail statement, but I'm in the Oregon state. So, it's okay to kind of fly under the radar for now while you're developing your ideas in hermit mode, prior to stepping into collaborating, right? Things are not what they seem right now, so you don't want to be going too crazy in any one direction or another. It's okay to be in kind of this watch and wait and protect your work status. Where things are going is the Seven of Cups, and I love how it's illustrated in this deck. It's this rabbit gazing at the constellations in the sky, and all of the different significances and meanings and messages that could be coming through to him from the heavens. And so this is kind of a little bit of a twist on the Seven of Cups. So you've got a lot of options and a lot of places that you can carry this work, a lot of directions. You're going to come into this time of kind of abundance, and it's going to require discipline and vigilance and to guard your work a little bit. That's coming through. But it's okay to follow this kind of spiritual guidance or spiritual inspiration, or follow your muse like you've been doing. But in order to really tune into your muse and to listen to your own creative process, it's okay to remove yourself for a while from lighter encounters or socializing that aren't necessarily lending any energy to this effort. It's okay to focus exclusively on this for a while, is what it's saying. Even if it seems like you're being a loner or unsocial or reclusive. So I just want to pull a little bit of cards here about what's with the Devil card here. Is there maybe that's saying that there's some shady energy afoot and you do really need to protect your work. That could be. Can you give us any more information about this Devil? What's important to know about the Devil card here? The Hierophant. Interesting. That's a total archetypal juxtaposition to the Devil is a priest, right? The Hierophant is a priest or a pope. The Two of Wands and the Knight of Swords. Yeah, Queen of Cups. So there might be some love decision-making in play for you here, because this Devil card is being clarified by the Hierophant, the Two of Wands, the Knight of Swords, and the Queen of Cups. So I think that you are trying to kind of rein in and discipline these kind of more devilish impulses that to me are not negative impulses. They're impulses, though, to get your desires met, right? That's kind of devil energy. And you're wanting to kind of control yourself a little bit and approach the opportunities that are coming carefully. You're trying to discipline yourself, in other words, is the sense that I'm getting, so that you can approach these new opportunities with the careful knowledge that they require. You're trying, but you're still a little bit in Knight of Swords energy. And you may be, part of your goals might be to go towards someone in love. The reason I say that is because of this Two of Wands and this Queen of Cups here with the Knight of Swords. It kind of strikes me as 3 people here, and there is a triangle of 3s over here. So there might be actually a love triangle in play. I don't know. Let's see what this is about, if anything specific like that. Like, what is... The Knight of Swords wants to deliver truth and deliver messages. They're trying to do it in a disciplined way with this Hierophant here. That might be where the devil energy is complementing the Knight of Swords. You might be really fired up to start the communication process, and you're trying to slow down a little bit so you can make sure you're being wise as you approach this new threshold here with this Two of Wands. What else? You're going to be victorious by by aligning yourself with the right people. It's going to create a victory. You've gotten some communication recently that made you excited. That might be what got all this stirred up, is that you had recently received a really positive message, and you're now really stirred up about, I want to join up, I want to link up, I don't feel quite ready, what do I do? Like, that might be what's going on, is that you're a little bit feeling like some opportunity came along quicker than you might have felt ready for. But it's victorious, don't worry. But it's almost like, oh man, hang on, things about changing. There's justice involved with this too, or a Libra, but things are coming into a more just and more balanced place. So you're right where you need to be, working with this energy, trying to be wise, trying to lay low, recognize things aren't what they seem. You don't want to be making any bold moves when you're not exactly sure of the terrain. Yeah, it's a time that you've had to kind of be in stillness while justice unfolds, and you've gotten this good communication and you know you're being victorious, but there's still a little bit of a delay here where you're having to spend a little bit more time in a solo mode before coming together with this group or this person. So let's see here. What else can I find out? I'm going to pull some of my cards, actually. If I can find them. I don't know if I can see them right now where they are. Yeah, I don't see them. Shoot. That's okay. They're probably in the other room. Excuse me. Is there anything we should understand about this lunar energy? What is the illusory nature of current circumstance? Is it about people's relationships? Astrology? Like, what's the moon card here? Ooh. Yeah, there's some real unconditional love present here. And like we suspected with this Devil card and this Hierophant, a real effort to discipline yourself, or for someone to discipline themselves before moving towards this new collaboration. Okay, so this is either you that's disciplining yourself, or it's someone who's about to make you an offer, right? It could be either way. The situation could be reversed. This could be about you, or it could be about somebody close to you who's thinking about you. There's a lot of unconditional love present with the Ace of Cups. This is what may not be clear or may not be obvious. Interesting. What if I pull some of these Kipper cards and see if we can get some more specifics? What's this about? Why is there a need to be careful, to proceed with discipline when it comes to this loving circumstance or this desire to collaborate? What is this about? What is the situation here? The There's been a little bit of confusion, like this moon card, which you've suspected. You are aware of that. So you're aware that there's been some illusory quality of things going on around you. There's been some positive communication. Like I said with this Page of Wands, you recently got a message or a positive communication or shot of optimism and joy. In here, it came through a communication. So I think this positive event, it's what's kind of stirred you up a little bit, and you're trying to figure out, what do I do next? It's really bringing you a happiness and joy. And the possibility of a new beginning. But there's some kind of, you're worried about the players involved and how they're going to be impacted. That's why there's a triangle being reflected here, because there's two outside parties. These are not the main players, either you or the person you want to collaborate with. There are other outside parties here. And there's some concern about them and their role, either negatively or being in the way of this in some way. So, I mean, that could be anything, like a family or other people who haven't some reason to be interested in this project and don't want you to move forward, or have their own worries, or, you know, there's just some obstacles here with some other parties involved is what it looks like. And that came out in this triangle of threes, right? There's a lot of people with an interest in what you might be up to. So that's all the more reason. Well, let's see here. Is that true then, that you need to be protecting yourself because there's some deception or illusion going on? Is that accurate? By you being disciplined, you're going to step into a place where you have a lot of options here and choices for how to proceed, which is great for creativity, right? You don't want to be boxed in. So this Page of Swords here is clarified by sad news, a journey, and hope and big water. So what this is telling me is that your shadow is afraid that this is going to fall apart. That's why this Page of Swords is in your shadow is being so vigilant. They're worried that you're going to get hurt. They're worried that you're going to make this effort or take this step to collaborate and you're going to get hurt and be in a sorrowful place. You might be feeling like these might be things that your shadow is telling you. You're fooling yourself. This is too good to be true. You're in denial. Something's going to come in and disrupt this, so just don't get too excited. Nothing ever works out for you. That's kind of what's going on here. And that's an echo of this Knight of Swords, which is wanting to maybe race ahead, but not totally clear on his ambitions yet. And so this is why it's kind of cautioning you to be a little bit careful right now while you continue to work on your own thoughts, right? Anything else I should know about this Moon card with the Ace of Cups? This could also be speaking to that water element lunar cycle that we just came through with the full moon in Scorpio, creating a little bit of the illusion and confusion about which direction to go. You just know you want to maintain your discipline. We do give this one more shuffle. You're worried maybe that something's, these thoughts are troubling you. You might be worried that something, that you're going to try to move towards this love relationship and that it's going to kill it or it's going to end. You may also be dealing with a death, and that's why you need to be alone right now, because you're dealing with a death and grieving. Yeah. You're not sure who you can trust right now is what I'm sensing. And you might be worried that it's too late, that things have already died, that somebody already got away with the prize that you now realize you are working towards and would like to have. What's a good tying it up, though, message for you? I'm frustrated that I can't find my deck of cards. I would like to pull some of my own cards, but I'm not going to pause the video again. I'll just do it the next time. But this is going to be kind of a closing message now. With all this, a little bit of tension here with you knowing what you want, but feeling like you need to hold on a little while longer, maybe that might be frustrating you, or tense, and you're trying to just discipline yourself. So what are a couple good tying it together messages for you to take away from this? Because it's not really clear. It's just clarifying that things are still a little bit complicated, and that you still have a little bit of worry that your moves are not going to work, or that you're not good enough to pull this off or something. So let's just see what's some advice for you. What are some tying it together messages? I could just keep going and going, but it's still taking me a long time to upload readings. So if I just go deeper and deeper into this and it turns into an hour reading, it's going to take me a really long time to upload. So that's kind of the other challenge that I'm up against here in this rural setting, is dealing with upload times. The Priest, that came out with the Hierophant. The Dreamer. Oh no, the Democrat. Funny. And the Storyteller. So let's see what these cards all mean here. These are advice and tying it together messages for you about this layout. The first card is number 12, the Priest. It's a wild rose. Working with a guide that takes a more holistic view may be something to explore at the moment. So a spiritual practice, that Hierophant and that desire to be disciplined is coming through here. And you're being asked to consider that more deeply. Figuring out a disciplined practice for yourself. Values, personal and those of others, should be examined to see not only that they align, but of what worth or damage those that do not may pose. Group membership, discussion, and study are a force that is indicated, along with the possibility of sharing your personal truths and research with others. The Priest cares for others, but the most important role is in setting aside time, space, and people to develop a dedication to the energies beyond the ordinary everyday. Exactly, that's that hermit energy. So you're really in flux of trying to figure out, how do I impose this discipline on myself? How do I get into a more deeply spiritual aligned practice? How do I make these changes? It's coming up against my old lifestyle, right? What else? The Democrat, which is the very first card. Interesting. And it's a wild rose. Carolina rose. Number 1, the Democrat. So it could, because it's the very first card, it could mean like starting a new project like we're talking about. Many of us believe we are being fair and just, but it is simply our belief and our filters that make us feel somehow righteous. Seek balance and create greater focus on equality in what you are doing by silencing your inner voice and personal view for a moment. Is this really fair, and does it take into account longer-term possibilities, not only for others but also yourself? The Democrat acknowledges outside influences as relevant to them, even if they do not agree with them. They will clear space to listen, to observe, to understand the needs, positions, and goals of other people and situations. So that's great advice, right? Always. That's a great way of being. Political terminology aside, right? Democrat in the more pure sense of the word, not the party title, right? And then the last one is the Storyteller, number 31. Be aware of fact, fiction, and myth in accounts as the myths are folding in at the moment to blur the lines. Yeah, that lunar energy. Someone may be more than a little deceptive in their actions, and we got that Thief card here and the illusion, the Devil, right? Someone may be more than a little deceptive in their actions and motives. Mind you, there are positive notes to storytelling, and you may find that living out a mythical daydream in some way enriches life right now. The storyteller lives for the passion of painting with words. They will entwine you in their drama, but also in their magic, while making some sort of sense, lesson, or memorable moment in the mundane. That's great. So just cool your heels, do the work that you're already doing, which is trying to be disciplined, and consider adopting a spiritual practice to get you through this adjustment phase while you launch these new creative projects. And watch out for being paranoid, but I think that's about it. It's a nice message to come through today for someone. So thank you. And later I'm also going to be trying to put together a little short. It's not a short, it's going to be a video, but not a very long one. I made some maple flower fritters yesterday on a whim. And then about right after I harvested them, I realized I should probably film this. It's in perfect keeping with my kitchen magic part of my channel. So just a little short video about how to prepare and work with maple flowers in your home in early spring from big leaf maple. So that should do it, and I'll see you again soon, and thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it. And if you know where I can get one of those scooters, let me know. Do you have to be a PE teacher or what?